everybody. I'm Nevin. Welcome back to the podcast.
And my name is Hmong, and let's continue our late night talks.
Okay, so something really major happened to me 2 weeks ago. I finally got LASIK surgery.
Let's give a round of applause. Finally, you can see.
I know. Oh, man. Okay, so originally I was supposed to get something called PRK.
Yeah.
But then I ended up getting the real LASIK surgery.
Wait,
instead.
So what's the difference between PRK
Okay,
and LASIK?
from what I remember, or from what I've seen online, is that PRK they just laser it.
Mm-hmm.
Then LASIK they actually cut off your eye a little bit, and then they laser it.
Oh, I see.
So and then they called me like literally 2 days before. Before my surgery, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you could do the actual LASIK surgery," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Okay," and then he's like, "Yeah, price will be the same."
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I thought it would be more expensive.
Yeah, faster healing process because PRK takes like, I think it depends on the person. It takes like 2-3 days.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, and then let's see. Yeah, so it went well. It was kind of scary at first. I was kind of nervous a lot. What was funny was when they cut my eye, and then they had to help me up.
Wait, were you awake the whole time?
Yeah, you had to be awake.
Oh, I see. Wait, so did they strap you in and everything?
No,
so
they don't strap you in.
Really? So you're just like lying
Yeah,
flat?
They help you, put your head down, and then they be like, okay, don't move. And then they're going to cut it. And then they literally just hold you and be like, okay, follow me here. That's it.
Wait, what do you mean follow me here? Oh, your eye?
Yeah,
your eye follows them?
when they after they cut my eye, the doctor, she was like, okay, I'm gonna grab your hand, follow me.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like follow me with your eyes.
No,
as
no,
you're
no.
like doing the procedure. You're on the you're laying there.
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
and then when the nurse or the doctor was helping me, she was like, okay, come here, lay down, and I was holding her hand like so tight. And then I laid down, and she's like, okay, you have to let me go now. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Wait, so when you went into, that's after the procedure or before the procedure?
After they cut me.
Oh, you held her hand super
Yeah.
tight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because they had to guide you to the laser part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because you were scared too, right? Or was
No. They have to. Because when they cut it, you're actually like, it's like extra blurry. Yeah.
Oh,
you can't really see much.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the lasering part, man, it smells like, when they laser it, it smells like
burning.
Like something burning. Yeah, it just smelled weird.
Okay. Because I thought that, from the procedure, like if I compare it to like when they did it back a long time ago, like they would use like a knife to like peel off the layers of your eyes, and then that's how it was. But I guess for lasering or the other procedure, I'm assuming the other procedure might be like that.
No, I don't think. No, it's only lasering for the other one.
Oh,
yeah, PRK.
Wait, so they both are laser.
Yeah, they both are laser. It's just PRK. I think they don't cut your eye.
So I guess overall, which one's better though?
LASIK.
LASIK?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Because it's faster healing too. I think if you get PRK, they have to put like stuff on your like a pad on your eyes after the procedure.
Oh,
yeah,
dang.
Something like that. I hope I'm not wrong, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I noticed on your left eye, like it's still a little red around your pupil.
That's because of they
messed up.
No, they so before they cut your eye, they put a suction thing in your eye so they could cut it. Yeah.
Wait, so it's like it's stuck onto your eye?
It's stuck, and then it's like a suction, and they cut it. Yeah, but for the reason why my left eye was red, because there was just a little bit of problem. It wouldn't suck. Yeah, it wouldn't the suction. So they had to do it like two times.
Oh,
Yeah.
so like basically a blood vessel. Just
Yeah.
popped in.
So I don't know, something like that, I guess.
Um,
So yeah, it
Yeah,
only
that's kind of
took.
scary.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. But hey, I can see now.
Yeah. You don't
Thank
have
God.
to wear glasses or
Mm-hmm.
put on contacts in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm. But the thing is too, I gotta put on eye drops like every day.
Oh.
I gotta take these pills. Yep. For 3 months.
Straight?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then, yeah. So far, I can see better. Everything just seems brighter, a little bit more clearer. Sometimes when before I go to sleep, I forget that I don't have my glasses on anymore.
Yeah.
So when I turn off my phone, I go like this. I'm like, oh, I don't have my glasses.
Wait, what age did you start wearing glasses?
Since I was like 9.
And then how bad of a vision did you have? From like starting and then to now?
I was really blind back then. So I wore glasses since I was 9 and contacts when I was like 9 or 10.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was
remember
really blind.
contacts.
So yeah, I was really blind back then. And then my vision before my LASIK was -9.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
They-
Those
they-
are some thick lens,
Yeah.
man. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
That they say I have old people glasses.
Seriously?
Yeah,
that's
that's
what they
what-
said? Oh.
Yeah, because they're like only
shit.
old people have thick glasses.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Holy crap. You
that's-
know what that means?
What?
You're old.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy now. So
That's good though. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm glad you got that figured out because I mean, I'm not as blind, right? I'm like around -3. And it
Ooh,
took
yeah.
me like 6 years to get to -3. I mean, but it's like gradually, right?
mhm.
And then like even right now I still wear like -3.
You should go
My lenses are -3.
go get LASIK.
I don't know. I feel like I'm okay. I feel like in case if in the future if I do need to get LASIK, I will. But I feel like it's manageable. I do not like that for contacts I have to take it off and put it like clean it and everything. It's just the process. And then for my glasses, right? For example, if we do go party or go clubbing or anything like that, and you have a crazy night, and then you wake up the next day and you don't know where your glasses are. I feel like that's just the scary thing or the thing that you have to worry about the most. But yeah, maybe in the future though.
The
for
best
LASIK.
age for LASIK is like 25
Really?
or 25. Yeah, 21 and 25.
That's what they said.
Or that's what I've seen online. 20.
Oh.
If you get it like before 25, that's like the best. But because I guess you never know, if your eyes get worse, and
That's
they can't do
true.
it, maybe when you're older.
Also, there's a cutoff to it too.
Not really. It really just depends on your eyes.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
It really depends. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, since we're in the topic of surgery and everything, have you had any other surgeries or injuries
Nope.
in your life?
This is my first LASIK was my first surgery ever. Injuries, I mean, like I don't know, injured my pinky, my fingers a little bit, and that's it. Nothing much. But how about you?
I think honestly, I've only had, I think, one procedure. And I think it was like this wart on my
Mhm.
nose right here.
Oh, for
Like,
real?
Yeah, but it was like super small. But then it's every time like we would either cut it or remove it ourselves, it would grow back. So I guess it's kind of like it's like a wart pretty much.
Wait, when did you get that then?
I was like in kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
mind.
So
I didn't see
no
it.
one,
Yeah,
no
no one.
knows
Okay.
about it because pretty much I think a wart it lives off of the blood vessel on your skin,
Mm-hmm.
and so if you do cut it, it'll just regrow back because it's already like infected on that skin.
Mm-hmm.
And so got that removed. I just remember I woke up. Okay, like the funny thing is they put me to sleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they
Oh,
put me
man.
to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember waking up in the middle of the procedure.
Oh,
And then I see a whole bunch of surgeons, around doing this. I'm like, what the heck? and then I just go back to sleep.
dang, that's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. And
Dang.
so, and then I wake up and then all suddenly, like, I see my mom right next to me and then they give me a popsicle.
Wow.
But then, like, at the time, I was, like, in such a bad mood, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was in, I think if you would compare the mood, it would have to be you're hangry and you woke up from a very bad nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just cranky.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah, I would agree because, man, they put you to sleep and you just want to sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into our first topic. So, Meng Zhang, are you able to speak Hmong?
I am capable of speaking Hmong and also understanding it. And then I could also read bits and parts of sentences. But like I would say even back then I did not know how to read it. I mostly like just understood it and spoke it fluently, but then now as I'm getting older, like I'm picking up on how to read it. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah,
Nathan?
well, for me, okay, I'll say this. I can read it. I read it really slow, and there are some words that I don't know how to pronounce.
Yeah.
To write it, I could probably write it just very slow. To speak it, I don't know. I'm like in between, I'm like 50%. It's like, when OGs, they talk to me, I can understand them. But then when I try to speak Hmong back to them, I automatically go to English. And like, that's the hard part too. It's like, I want to be able to speak back to them 100% in Hmong. But sometimes I just like, okay, I can't think of the words right now. So I'm just going to have to speak in Hmonglish. And there's some words that I don't know too in Hmong. So I have to like just try my best, basically.
Dang, that's really interesting. I mean, because I feel like a lot of people our age, right, in our generation, I feel like we're on the borderline of either you speak it, you understand it, or you don't understand it at all, or else there's like a certain group of people who understand it but can't speak it.
Yeah.
And they can't even read it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, I feel like people, or the Hmong people born in that era, it's like it's either you know how to speak it or you don't.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part. And I've met a lot of people, who can't speak it but can't understand it. They can't understand it at all, but yeah.
Have you had like a funny moment where you're talking to someone, or someone's talking to you in Hmong, and then you like stutter or
Yeah, plenty of times, man. Okay, never mind. I can't think of the story right now, but it has happened to me a couple times. But why to you too?
So it happened to my cousin. But so we had this family event, right, where it's on my mom's side, and we have this family gathering for Christmas. And at the time, I think I was around 6th grade. We had this pageant type thing for all the kids, right?
Wow.
So it's me, is Ethan, it's Benji as well too, and then so it's all of us, right? So all the little kids who were either around my age range or a little bit older, right? And so you would go up to the stage, introduce your name, like imagine full on Hmong pageant at the New Year's, but it's like for kids. And so we went up, had a microphone, you went up by yourself. Like, okay, prior to this, we practiced too. So we'll go up there, you only speak Hmong, or just say your name, who your parents are, what you want to be when you grow up, and how old are you, and then that's it, you leave the stage. So I go up, I do it, and then we go by age range, right? And we get to, sorry, Benji, but we get to you. So we get to Benji, right? And so, he's up there, and he's saying, like, he's looking around, right? And at the time, he was very, very little. He was around like 6, 7, or, I would say either 6 or 7 years old. And then it's so funny because everybody in the whole entire family makes fun of him for that moment. Like every single time you would have to speak Hmong, they would like throw that joke in all the time. And so he goes up on stage. And you know how like when people who don't speak Hmong fluently, they have that English accent, but then they kind of put it into like Hmong, where it's like gu chi bo hai lu Hmong, like that. So it's Benji had that, right? And so he goes up on stage and he's saying, all he needs to say is my name is Benji in Hmong. And then, but he slowly takes his time. He says, Gun Lumpe. No, and so he's saying that. And so, like, my uncle in the crowd, he's like, your name is Benji. You know, he's like yelling, your name is Benji. And then, but he's like just repeating that line. And then, like, gradually, we just had to, like, get him off stage because he was stuck up there just saying, my name is. And then he gradually just, like, finished it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So shout out to Benji. But the funny thing is he was super good at speaking Hmong when he was little.
Oh, yeah?
But it wasn't until he went to school
Mm-hmm.
where he, yeah,
they have to learn
forget
English.
everything. Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm. So the two main dialects are White Hmong and Green Hmong. In Hmong, it's Hmong De. For Hmong Green, it's Hmong Ling. And I heard that you cannot call them Hmong Jaw because there's a story behind it. There's cannibalism in that story. Do you remember it?
No, I think what you said is right. I think the story is just a certain group of people back in Laos.
And they are Hmong Green.
Yep, they speak Hmong Green as well. And I believe it was a story of them I think eating either the first or the last born son. Something like that. I don't know. But I've seen a movie where they talk about
really?
it. Yeah. There was like a movie that they made for it. It's not like a documentary. It's more of like a...
It's like those old school
those old school
on the VCR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's those movies, and then it's interesting because I never even knew about it until like maybe I got to high school. I knew that there was different dialects of Hmong, but I just didn't know there was like a backstory to it.
Yeah, same. I didn't know too until high school. Until I met one of my friends when I used to dance. And he explained it to me. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know, but yeah, I see. The thing is too, I know there's Black Hmong too in Vietnam, but that's like the tribe though. It's not like a dialect, I think, because I saw a documentary talking about the Black Hmong tribe, and then there's like other ones too, but there's just so many that it's like, is this even like accurate information? So I don't know. There's a lot.
But I guess overall, in general, it doesn't matter what you speak now. I think as long as we're just able to still speak it and then still pass it on.
But have you been able to understand when a Hmong Green person speaks to you?
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever heard someone else speak Hmong Green to me, it was in elementary school. I think you know who I'm talking about, but I won't say his name, but we went to elementary school, high school, middle school together, and then he plays soccer as well too. Very big into soccer, and so he spoke Hmong to me, and I'm like, oh, that's different. I would say it's as different as I would say like Evan speaks Fujianese. It's like a different.
He speaks Fujianese.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, but then there's different like dialects of that too. So although it sounds the same, there's some words that sounds different.
Yeah.
So but then that was my first time hearing in elementary school, and I had to go ask my parents. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, my girlfriend's in-laws, so her sister's husband's family, they're Hmong Green.
Oh.
So when they speak Hmong Green to each other, I could pick up like some words. Sometimes I don't know some.
Have they ever asked you to go grab something and you didn't know what they meant?
No. They it's usually we speak a lot. I mean, we mainly speak English.
Oh. Yeah. Got it. Okay. I thought they would be like, go grab the.
And they're not old too.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they know how to speak English. So.
Got it. I thought it was like the parents or like their like grandparents or something.
No, when they speak a lot of Hmong Green, is usually to their mom.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Okay. I thought they would ask you to go grab something. You're like, wait, grab what? All right. Well, what do you think about like? Have you heard about other variations of Hmong other than like since we're getting out of the dialects? Have you heard of any other variations? So.
Yeah. So there's Chinese, Vietnamese, some in France, and then Australia. Then obviously here in the States, And then also in South America, it's a French colony or territory still. It's a French Guyana or something like that. Yeah, so they speak French there too. There's a lot of Hmong people there, and I think they are responsible for like 60% of the farming there.
Really?
Yeah, like around 30 to 60%.
Did not even know that there was like that little
Yeah.
place for them.
Yeah, they're like
So
kind of near the ocean.
you said South America?
Yeah, South America.
Oh, yeah, I
French
didn't know.
Guyana is like on the top, kind of near Brazil-ish, on the top over there. Yeah, top right.
I just thought that people were mostly, or the Hmong people were mostly in Laos. But then I think that because of, after we learned some history stuff, like they kind of scattered throughout the world.
We
pretty
live
much.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I heard South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard Netherlands, Sweden, and yeah, that's really what I've heard where Hmong people live so far.
But I do think that the way that they speak though is like, if you understand Hmong or you speak it as well too, then you could kind of pick up that there are some words when they speak, for example, like Hmong Chinese or Hmong French or Hmong Vietnamese, you could kind of pick up some fragments of the sentence.
I feel like Hmong people from Vietnam and Laos and Thailand, I feel like we understand them the most. But Chinese, French, those are the most unique ones I've heard so far. In China, when they speak Hmong, it's like they're speaking it, but then their accent is so like Chinese. It's like, okay, I'm trying to understand you, but
And also, they speak it very fast.
Yeah,
Or
very
it seems
fast.
like, for us, it seems like they speak it very fast. Yeah, what's interesting is one of my Chinese friends also speaks Fujianese too.
oh yeah.
He asked me, he said, oh, what are you speaking? Are you speaking Hmong? I was like, yeah. I was just, talking to my mom on the phone. He said, oh yeah, like when I was listening to you speak, there were some words that you said where it sounded Chinese, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And
Like
so,
I think the cadence,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rhythm, the way we speak, it's similar, but I mean, we live everywhere that's like we speak different, like fast, sometimes slow, So
yeah. Well, I mean, all I know from Hmong French, right, is that their last names are different.
yeah.
So
I have a story.
Yeah.
So in my workplace, so I started as an intern, and the person who trained me, she was from France. Her last name, it was a French name, I think, that they changed it to. But she's
Her first name or last name?
last name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they changed their last name to a French last name. I don't know if they kept the last name or their Hmong name into their middle name. So, yeah, that's what they did when they went to France.
Because I know, well, I asked my dad about it too, because I'm like, oh, I know that they're Hmong, but they're from France or they're from Europe. And how, like, what's the like, how come their last name is this? Because it's the usual Hmong last name, right? For example, it'll be like Zhang or Yang or Li or Mo, but then they'll have like another name right next to it, right? But we'll use your name, for example. So it's Nevin Lore, right? And so usually what they do with your last name, which is Lore, they would have their, like, the very first grandpa you had. Like, they'll put his first name and add it to your last name. So for example, if your grandpa's name, I think that's like the most interesting thing that I saw from their last names.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they do have unique last names. Yeah. And when they speak Hmong too, it's very French-like. It's like, whoa.
They add that uniqueness.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Like they're eating cheese and crackers and drinking wine.
Do you think the Hmong language is dying out, or is it gonna die out?
I think that it will stay constant. I don't think there will be it's slowly going down, like minimally. But I do think that because there are a lot of Hmong charter schools, right, here in Minnesota, and they teach a lot of courses that talks about Hmong culture and the Hmong language, then I feel like people will be educated about it. But at the same time, because a lot of people nowadays, and especially our generation, we speak a lot more English. And then if we have kids in the future, we're going to be mostly speaking English to them. If you choose to speak English to them, then that's where I feel like it will die out.
Yeah. I think it really depends, if you're going to be a parent and you want them to speak Hmong more, you might have to go take them to a Hmong school or Hmong classes after school. So I think it really depends on you.
Have you ever been to a Hmong charter school before?
No. I think my parents didn't want me to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, I don't know. If I went to an all Hmong school, I don't think I would have wanted to, really. I want to go to a very diverse school. Like the high school we went to, it was, it was okay. Pretty decent. Pretty diverse.
The most diverse in I think, out of all the schools around there. In the district.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I got to be friends with all race. If I was just friends with just all Hmong people, it's like, I wouldn't mind, but I want to talk to other people too.
You want to learn
about
other people, right?
And also, I really wish there was like a Hmong class, for adults or any age, I would definitely probably apply for it, just to take it so I could speak better.
Do you think you would want to learn the Hmong language, or you would want to take a class that teaches you like the traditional stuff that they do either at the funerals or...
They have that too. They have the funeral and the wedding. It's in St. Paul's, the Hmong Association place.
Do you think you would ever put or enroll your kids to those Hmong schools?
I don't know, man. I think I'd rather have my kids go to a diverse school.
Yeah.
And then I'll take them to learn the Hmong language after school. Like somewhere else,
Does your girlfriend speak Hmong?
Yeah.
Like fluently and can read it and understand it?
She could speak it better than me. She can kind of read it. To write it, I think not well, maybe, but yeah.
Okay. Because I also do think about if, like, for example, if Hmong couples, right, they don't speak Hmong at all, then I feel like that's another way that they lose like the native tongue as well too. And that's like the way for you to like start gradually losing it. And then there's also like a identity crisis because you don't know because what if your kids are like, oh, like I'm Asian, I know that, but like,
what about my language?
Yeah, what about my language or like
my background?
Yeah, my background. Like, what does Hmong even mean, or how come I never learned it when I was younger, like other people or other friends or something like that, So I think that's probably another way.
Yeah, I think it really just depends on the parents, really. Like, for example, my girlfriend's parents, they're older, so they speak more Hmong to my girlfriend and her sister. And then my parents, they're pretty young, so it's a lot of English and Hmong. So, but mostly English, I would say.
That's the interesting thing is, it all depends on, the parents and making sure that they understand it or not.
What do you think of the Hmong generation today and the older generation? Do you think the new generation they don't care anymore, compared to the older generation? What do you think?
I honestly think that if we're comparing the two generations, right, the young versus old, I think that the young generation, like for us, for example, I think we are we're more in the Western mindset. So I do think that the younger generation, right, we do have like more of a Western mindset. But then if we compare it to like the older folks, right, then they have more of the traditional older mindset where it's like rules, men versus women, or not men versus women. It's like men are dominant, women have
Yeah.
to listen, that type of stuff too. Whereas for us, we are more like, since also we also live in the U.S. and so we're like, oh, equality. Everyone deserves to have like a fair view on everything and all that stuff too. But then if you go back to Laos, right? People who are our age down or in Laos or basically anywhere in the world country where they are mostly like heavily populated, then they would have like the same mindset as like our parent or like my parents, because my parents are in the older, or else it'll be like with the older generation. What about you?
Well, I don't know. For me, it's like a hit or miss. You know, the newer generation, I've seen them like, you know, they want to stay or learn more about their culture, and then there's some that I met, it's like they want to stay away from it. Even people who are a little bit older than me, like some of them, they don't want to be involved at all. Yeah, so it's really hit or miss. For the newer generation, I feel like the manners, you know, and the is it deep culture, surface culture, right? Remember what we learned in middle school?
Yeah.
I feel like the deeper culture, they still need to like learn, you know, the manners and why we do things. The surface culture, like, you know, we have the clothing, how we dress. Like I feel like that's easy for them to know. But yeah, really, I've seen both sides.
Where do you land on it? Or do you think you're in the middle, or do you think that you're with? Well, I mean, earlier I said that because you know we're part of like it's because of our age. But then, where do you land on it? Like, where are you? Do you want to learn more, or do you want to kind of do your own thing, but then just have some knowledge of it?
I'm like in between. Okay. You know, I really would like to know more. You know, more like the, you know, what to do at funerals, what to do at weddings, how to drink. And yeah, those are the things that I don't really know much, you know, but I know, like, you know, when you go over to someone's house, you always shake their hands, talk to them, you know, show respect, don't do anything stupid, just be nice, be respectful.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think that as men, right? Because we are men now, you know, we're no longer part of the boy squad. But I do think that when I was young, or when I was like growing up, even as at age like 6 or 7, I was already taught to like shake hands already, and so that became like something normal to me. And now that, you know, we're like what, 23, I just kind of thought about it, and I'm like, dang, it's like something that's been passed down through a generation to pay respect, right, to everybody. Whenever you're going somewhere, you just shake hands. I feel like that's like more of a cultural thing. It's more of a, oh, like I respect you and we shake hands and stuff like that too. I actually have a funny story about it, because I went to one of my uncles, they were doing an event, and I went to go shake hands with everyone. And then usually when someone arrives there, they shake everyone's hand. So I held out my hand to one other person, and he shakes like my brother's to the left of me, and I put my hand out, and then he looks at me and just turns away.
Wow.
And walks past.
Yes.
But then I think it's because I was young though. Maybe that's why. Yeah. Or else he didn't see me. But I don't know. Like I felt like he probably saw me and just walked away.
Yeah, sometimes I've seen that happen before. You know, the older people, they don't shake hands with the younger ones, and it's like, well, okay, well, I guess that's kind of, you know, disrespectful. Yeah. Well, okay, so what about the religion? Do you think the older or the newer generation wants to, you know, stick with shamanism, or do they just want to do no religion at all?
I think it depends on how you grew up, with either, regardless of like you're being traditional or being more modern. I think for a traditional standpoint, I would say my family, we're pretty traditional, but then we're like slowly, like it's getting more modern, where we don't do certain stuff. But then for like a traditional, like you're doing like the New Year thing, I would say like that's traditional. I would say for more modern, then you really just do the New Year thing, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But then for my family, we do the New Year thing, and then we also do like the you can't spend money for 3 days.
Really, that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, and so I think that now, if we're talking about people who haven't grown up with that, if they went to either, for example, church, or they don't believe in anything, then yeah, it'll like eventually it'll start fading away, right? The shamanism.
mm-hmm.
But I do think that they are probably gonna cope with something else. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen both sides again. Like the newer generation, I've seen some, they don't want to, be associate with the religion. Some, they want to. And I'm like, that's okay too. I think what I really care about the most is like, don't forget who you are and where your people came from. And if you want to follow the religion, go ahead. If you want to go to church, go ahead. Me personally, I'm not really religious. Growing up, there was a little bit of shamanism, and I did go through a small Christian phase.
Really?
Yeah, elementary.
Seriously?
Yeah, 5th grade.
What?
Yeah.
I never knew. What?
Well, that's because we weren't that close yet.
Okay,
but-
that's true, but
Yeah, it was like a little phase, and then I gave up on that. So
wait,
right.
wait, hold on. we gotta
okay.
dig into it.
All right, let's go back to it.
Cause like, what intrigued you?
I don't know. Like I just started to believe more in the religion. Do you remember one of the guys in class? His name was Max.
Yeah.
He was a Christian, so I would talk to him about it. And it's like, yeah, I just read like the Bible in class. You remember when we all had reading time? I literally read the Bible.
You read the Bible?
Yeah. I had like a small one.
Did he give it to you? Or
No,
you had like the small one where
Yeah.
they pass it off
Yeah,
for
yeah.
free.
Mhm.
So you had one of those,
Yeah.
and you read it during class.
And even the teacher came. She
That's
was like,
crazy. Oh my gosh.
the teacher came too. She's like, the Bible is not a book to read. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna read it. And then I forgot what happened.
Was there
after
an
that,
issue?
No, there
with
wasn't
it?
an
No?
issue. She was just like, I think she just wanted to say, you need to read something else. I got a book from Max.
Uh-huh.
It was like a chapter book, of like a, short version of the Bible.
Yeah.
I read that.
Oh, it has stories.
Yeah,
and stuff like
stories,
that.
pictures.
Why'd you give me that look? Pictures.
It has pictures in it
pictures
because
is
it's
it?
of Jesus,
Oh,
and
okay.
everything. Yeah, but when I read it though, I honestly didn't know what I was reading about.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, like I read it, I was just trying really hard to be Christian.
Like you didn't feel anything from it,
I didn't
right?
feel anything. I read it.
Uh-huh.
I read the actual Bible, and I read the chapter book one. Yeah, I didn't understand anything.
Did you
really.
finish reading the Bible?
No, I did not finish. Remember when we had to read the reading logs?
Yeah. You put the Bible? You wrote the Bible?
Oh, not the Bible, but the chapter book one.
Oh, yeah.
I would fake that.
Oh,
Yeah,
serious?
bro. Yeah. I would literally try to read it. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. So
Dang, that's so interesting. Well, I think maybe because we were so young and we haven't lived life to the fullest, maybe that's why I didn't really connect with the two.
yeah, probably. But
Or else because like if we're talking about our friend, maybe because he grew up going to church and being Christian, maybe that's where he was heavily influenced by it. But then I think because like you were in elementary school and maybe you didn't know anything about it and it didn't really connect with you because you didn't go through like something
yeah,
to kind of like make you feel that way when
Yeah.
reading the Bible as well too.
so
Maybe.
yeah, after that I didn't really believe anything, and then when we got to high school senior year, and when we started talking about like Greek gods, origin stories, how the earth began, and different religions or beliefs, and I'm like, what? Like I did not know this. And then I remember in class we talked about the Egyptian gods. We talked about how they believed how the earth formed, and it was something about like masturbation.
What?
Yeah. something about masturbation, because in the book it talked about like
Was it the earth and something?
something about like your hands, they move on the body, and then something with ejaculation. Yeah.
I
And then my English teacher interpreted it as that that Oranger story as like, okay, so what happened? How I interpreted it was masturbation. And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, I get what you're saying, but this is very interesting. Yeah, so the book I brought down.
His
so,
Bible.
Okay, so let me just backtrack. So basically, and remember when we took that religion class in college?
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about like.
Is that the book?
No, this is for a different class.
Oh,
so this is just something I just want to talk about, like after I explain this.
Yeah.
My story. So we learned about Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, and we learned the origin stories and blah blah blah. And then that time, I think myself, I was like really unsure what to believe in, like what to really believe in. Yeah. So I used to be, a little bit rude to people who were like, who believed in religion. Mm-hmm.
Did not know that.
I mean, I wasn't.
I mean,
like,
you weren't really rude.
I wasn't rude. I was just like, like, well, whatever. Like, it's not true. Blah blah blah. But yeah, and then let's see, senior year, I had to take another like religion. It's like a religion business class. Yeah. And then we read this this book right here. It's called "Calling in Today's World: Voices from 8 Faith Perspectives."
Wait, that's your camera.
Yeah. I'll show it. This is closer, but yeah. Oh. So basically, when I read this part here, it says, secularism has a long tradition in Jewish life in America, and most U.S. Jews seem to recognize this. 62% say being Jewish is mainly a matter of ancestry and culture, while just 15% say it is mainly a matter of religion. And so reading that part made me think like, okay, so I don't really, as a Hmong person, I don't have to really believe in the religion or anything, but I should be more proud of like the culture and what we do. Like, for example, how my dad does sometimes every year, the burning the joy money. Is that what it's called? The money, basically.
Yeah, paper money.
Paper money.
Yeah.
And like, saying things to the ancestors and everything.
Or...
I personally don't believe, we're talking to the ancestors, but I respect what's happening and what we're doing. So I'm not gonna, bash it, but I appreciate it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to see it. I think I had like that same kind of thought process too. I think it was like in 2020 to 2021, and like it was like during COVID and everything. I think that because of like what had happened during COVID and everything, I do think that I kind of pulled myself away from being or believing in like shamanism, and so that's where it led me to believing in more of atheism, right? Where it's like you don't believe in a existence of a god. You believe that there's like other meanings, right? Or you don't believe that.
You don't believe in nothing, really.
Yeah. But then I think it eventually led to like me just finding that, or just believing into that, I don't believe that there's a god, but maybe there's something else, like a force or something that either is guiding the world or
so you're a little bit spiritual,
I guess, in a way. In a way.
Yeah, I feel like me, it's like, I mean, we talked about this on our first episode. I remember. Yeah. So I'm like agnostic. I'll believe it when you show me proof, but there's just a little bit of spirituality in me. But yeah, that's my beliefs.
Hey, so deep. You brought a whole book for it too.
Yeah.
That book changed your
it changed my perspective. All right, let's talk about the mindset of the young and old.
Yeah, I think I got into it earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Where I honestly do think that us young generation, I do think we have to turn around and we have to like listen to the elders, even if they are wrong too, so that when they do say wrong things, we pick up what they say are wrong and we teach the correct thing, right? So for example, I do think now a lot of older generations, I would say for the men, they are slowing down with the drinking. I feel like that's been a great improvement.
I don't know.
Well, I'll say
I have to disagree.
well, I mean, it's less than what they did before. I would say at funerals and
I would say like
more
20
events.
years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But like when I saw it, like when I was a kid at 6 years old, whenever we went to a event, right, a family event or a family gathering or a funeral or something, I would remember a lot of people getting drunk. Like a lot of the men were getting drunk if they didn't have a job to do, or even if they had a job, they were drunk. And so like I feel like now people are more responsible and more respectful, even at funerals. Because I would say at funerals, people drink a lot.
True. Yeah, I did see a post on Facebook about no drinking at the funeral.
Yeah. See, but then when it's time to drink for like, receiving luck back and everything, that's when they would have it, or like you would drink pop.
Okay. Yeah.
Or water. But then it's more important now when you drink.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
It went, let's see, it was last year. I was at a funeral from my friend's grandma. Man, dude, the people that were drinking on the other side, they were so loud. I was like, whoa, like I've never been to a funeral where they're drinking so loud that it's like a little bit obnoxious and rude. And yeah, they were right behind me. And I looked at them. I was like, the fuck? Like,
oh, was it? So were you in the like the main room or like the cafeteria?
Cafeteria.
Or, like, cafeteria. Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Cafeteria. Yeah, they were so loud. I was like, yo, like this is a funeral. Like, guys, like chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that's not my family, so I'm not gonna have any say in it too. So,
but I'm thinking now, right? I do think that if we're talking about like in the old days, right? I do think that they drink so that people would stay, to make the place feel warmer. Yeah, to make sure that the internal family would feel at ease, or they'll feel like, oh, there's people here with us to grieve as well too.
Yeah.
So I do think that's where it stems from. I just think now, since in the U.S. we kind of taken it overboard, but then we kind of like slowed it down to all the drinking. I'm not saying like for people who drink a lot, right? But I'm saying that when it comes to drinking for important stuff, they don't drink as much anymore.
Okay.
But if we're talking about like regular events, oh yeah, people drink.
Yeah.
Like to however their heart content to it.
Let's see. For me, I think the mindset of the older generation, they're a little bit more stern, more blunt. For example, I work with older people, like the 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
And no, not 40s, like 30s. I'll stick with 30s. Sorry if I get your age wrong, guys. When they talk, it's really like blunt, very like masculine, and it's like, oh, I could talk like that too, but it's like I don't want to always talk like that, to each other. But as the younger person, it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna let the older people be and just let me do my own thing.
So like, what do you feel about that though, when they do bring the masculinity to you?
I don't really care. I'll talk back too, or else I'll just like laugh it off, be like, haha, whatever, and then just move on. Because I know deep down they're just joking. It's nothing serious. That's just how they, I guess, talk to each other. Yeah, to each other, and just really just have fun. Yeah, it's nothing serious.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I mean, I could tell when it gets too far too.
Oh,
so, if it gets too far, then that's when it's like, okay, there's a problem.
Or like, yeah, you went over the line pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then for the younger generation, I feel like we're more open. We're not. We try to be nice. You know, we don't want to cause any problems. And yeah, that's what I think.
Hmm. But I do think that the younger generation, we are forgetting a lot of stuff though, or
Yeah.
we're not attracted to learn more traditional stuff. It's more of like we feel that it's a hassle,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not something that we want to go into, or we
Yeah.
think that it's too old of a style, right?
Mm-hmm.
We live in America and we want to be more modern, live the Western mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where I think that we have to take a step back, and like what you said earlier too, you have to recognize your culture and who you are, and as long as you keep that, then then you'll like, I guess, be more open to everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
All right. Let's move on to Hmong artists. Do you have any favorite Hmong artists right now?
currently, I'm more old school. I'm more old school.
I
so
can see
like,
that. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think I listen to more of like Sounders, Sudden Rush, Lu Ya, even yeah, overall, like those are kind of what I've been listening to. And then I guess the more modern artists would have to be like Channing Zhang. That's, and a little bit of David Yang, like before he moved to Minnesota, I guess. When he did, like, I listened to more his Hmong rap a little bit, and then like some of the first few songs that he released for like when he sang. But then now I feel like it's like they're all sounding too similar.
Mm-hmm.
All the Hmong artists.
Yeah.
Too similar.
There's a bunch of songs that sound really similar. For me, I don't really have a favorite artist. I really just listen to whoever. But I will say, my favorite rapper is TL, but he doesn't rap anymore.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Death Rhyme.
Death Rhyme's good too. And then another one is who we might interview soon. His name is I don't know if it's pronounced Blue or I think it's Blue Tao, but it's spelled BLEU and then Tao. He's really good. He sounds very, it's like Justin Bieber, Sorry, I don't want to compare you to these artists, but it sounds very modern and very good. Modern beats, modern dancing beats. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And a little bit of like emo sound to it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of him before.
Yeah. He's very good. He has to come to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say where he lives yet, but yeah, he has to come to Minnesota.
Oh, dang! I would love to meet him to see what he's up to see if what type of music he does.
You should collab.
Well too.
You should collab with him. I feel like his music matches yours too. What you listen to. So
okay. Yeah. Well, when we meet him, we'll have to figure everything out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a shout out to other podcasters. So, Nevin, who are some of your favorite podcasters that you do listen to?
So right now, shout out to No Eggs podcast, Hmong podcast, and Reminisce, and let's see, Asian Party, Rice Gone Wild, and that's about it for me, really. For the Hmong podcast.
Yeah.
And then for the other ones, Bad Friends, Tiger Belly, Flagrant, Genius Brain, Iced Coffee Hour, Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Tosh Show, Scissor Bros, Trailer Tales, and Adam Ray when he does his Dr. Phil impression.
Oh, yeah.
Dudes Behind the Foods this past weekend, Kill Tony, and Joe Rogan. That's really who I listen to. I have a lot more too, but I don't want to list all of them. Yeah. It's too much.
Wait, is the one with food? Is that the one with the guy in the glasses, kind of buff?
No, it's Dudes Behind the Foods, right? The one you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's Tim Chantaratsu and David So.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I completely forgot about there. Yeah. Okay. So dang. So you listen to like a big variety or a lot of variety. So
Yeah.
local and global
Yes.
podcasts too.
I listen to whoever is entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Because at work I'm always doing nothing most of the time. So I have to listen to
work
something.
though.
I
He
do
does
work. I do work. Okay, but sometimes we have nothing to do, and I'm like, okay, I have to listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Dang.
how about you? List out yours.
So I currently don't listen to any local podcasts. I think just because, well, I mean, it never introduced me to like the No Eggs and Reminisce. And so I've taken a listen to a couple of their stuff too, and it's pretty good. But the stuff that I first started listening to or got into podcasts is Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
Mm-hmm.
I also listen to Joe Rogan. Under the Influence, I feel like that's hit more of the younger people's crowd. The Library Show, hilarious. Like I could listen to and watch it, and it's hilarious. I think that's yeah. I don't know how he got that started, but I just think it's so funny. And then New Heights, the Draymond Green Show, and then let me see the last one. Oh yeah, I mean Tiger Belly, Bad Friends as well too, and then Iced Coffee Hour with Theo and Vaughn. Yeah, and then I think there's like some other ones too, but yeah, overall like I feel like the one that I listen to the most is probably has to be Under the Influence and Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. Yeah.
Oh, and I also forgot to put on the list is Monglish with Chef Yeving.
Oh yeah.
His podcast is really good too. There's also other ones too. Like there's a Hmong Christian channel called the 6-3 channel. I listen to their opinions on Christianity and Hmong people today, their religion. And there's also this podcast called 3 a.m. Scary Stories. There was actually a Hmong white guy on that show. Yeah, he's mixed. He's Hmong and white.
Oh, I mean he's just Hmong then.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right, but he is mixed.
Yeah.
And he's from Utah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So he talks about like
the
Hmong,
scary spirits.
scary spirits, scary stories, to the hosts, and yeah, it's interesting. Hearing from his perspective.
Really interesting. I wouldn't expect Hmong people to be in Utah.
Yeah, I
at
know,
all.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any collaboration you want to do with any of these podcasts?
Honestly, I feel like right now, if any collaboration with any podcast or anyone, I would like be down to like just have it. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. I feel like as long as we talk about things and we're chill and I get to know like everybody on the podcast, then yeah, I feel like that has to be it. But I feel like the number one podcast I want to go to that I think would be fun is probably Under the Influence. Yeah.
Yeah, that they look like your type of podcast for sure.
I mean, because they also drink as well too, but then they also I feel like they're more of the like our generation.
Yeah.
Like the content or the stuff that they kind of push out is more, it relates back more to us.
Yes, yeah. I agree.
What about you?
Yeah, definitely No Eggs and Reminisce. Those are the two that I would like to be on. And also, funny story, Justin from Reminisce, I saw him at Unison. The reason why I recognized him, because I was at the bar side at Unison, and I was just like there alone because I didn't want to be in the banquet side no more because it's so crowded. And I heard his voice come by. He was walking next to me.
It was exactly like how Nevin listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
Nevin was like,
yeah,
is this Reminisce?
I heard his voice. I looked at him. I was like, hey, like, don't you do a podcast? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I listen to you guys. Reminisce, right? He's like, yeah. And he bought me a drink. And then, yeah, I added him on Facebook.
Yeah.
But shout out to Justin and Vince. Yeah, those are No Eggs and Reminisces are the podcasts that I would like to be on.
So this last segment is called Late Night Thoughts. And this segment goes into our theme. And so with this theme, we're trying something new, and we are going to be discussing, right? So this is going to be the topic where it gets into a random topic that Nevin and we really, would have a late night thought about, right? And so even though it doesn't really connect with the other stuff, this is the segment where, we just get a random
topic.
Yeah, topic.
Random thought that we had late at night. I mean, you can go first. What did you have?
Yeah, so since I've been working out pretty hard, I just got this haircut too.
Shout out Kai.
Yep, shout out Kai. And I've been working out pretty hard, doing a lot of cardio now, and lifting pretty heavy. The thing that I really thought about was I would stay up watching videos of people eating food, and that would make me hungry. And I saw a video where it said that if you're sleeping or laying at night, and if you watch people eat, then that will cause you to eat, which causes you to overeat, which will, potentially give you more calories, and you'll get more fat and gain more weight. And so I'm like, damn, like that is so true. I've never really realized that, but I'm like, but I am hungry. Like I watch videos of people eating just so that I don't have to eat, but I am just hungry every night. Because I fast as well.
Are you at least like trying to eat healthy too?
Oh yeah, I'm eating healthy too. Okay. Like I'm eating healthy, and then I'm eating, but I'm like eating under like a specific calorie count.
Let's see, my late night thought. So I took a CBD Saturday.
No way,
or
it's
Sunday.
Another one.
yeah, and I was watching astronomy videos, space videos.
Giggling too?
Huh?
You were giggling?
No. Well, I've talked about this before. Yeah, I like astronomy and space. And I was just like, thinking like, other planets that we know exist out in the universe. And, how we can get minerals, different like, so like we could get like different minerals off of asteroids or different planets. There we can also get water. And if space travel, if we could successfully do space travel, like it's a game changer to humanity for sure. It's just that traveling in space is just so hard, and you can't have like when you see rocket ships, you see the fire, like you can't do that in space because there's no oxygen,
right?
So you have to make sure the rocket is in a perfect trajectory. And I've just been thinking about like one day we might reach that time where we're gonna be able to do space mining.
I do believe that will happen.
And if it does happen, I'm gonna invest into those companies that do it, and we're gonna be rich. And I'm going to tell you what to invest in.
And then like 50 years pass by, the company went down. I don't know, but that's interesting. I honestly, I don't think it will happen in our lifetime.
Yeah, for sure. It's got to be like 200 years from now.
That's like pretty sad.
Yeah. And we're not going to be able to see it, man.
Yeah. But I mean, if we believe in reincarnation,
sure, if you do,
if we believe in reincarnation, we'll come back as butterflies. I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
But I think that'll be cool. I honestly think that the issue with space mining or even traveling in space is how we are going to sustain like human life if we're flying on an aircraft, because you know how far away it's like light years away, and so it's super long. It'll take super long for us at least to travel, and it's like that Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence movie, where they were stuck on an aircraft. The machine they were
the spaceship.
part of, the spaceship. Like I guess, and what is the thing that they're enclosed in? Their tube.
Cryo cryo machine. It's like ice.
Yeah,
right?
basically
Cryo
you're
machine.
like you're being preserved pretty much. You're in like deep sleep. Like their thing is broken, and then they had to like survive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's gonna be the issue, because who's gonna stay on to monitor each person's like deep sleep thing? And we have AI, right? And so I feel like eventually like we'll start using AI, and the AI like the computer and the robots and stuff will like, oh yeah, for sure, get smarter and everything. But I feel like this is the first step into doing that, which is AI. Yeah, scary.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna wrap up of our conversation today. Thank you for listening to the Late Night Talks. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and we'll put a link tree. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment. All right, and we hope you all have a good night.